Good evening, ghosts and ghouls. It's the one, the only JT Ripper, and I'm here with the man that helped Ernest save Christmas,
Todd of Thunder.
and you're listening to A Horrible Podcast. And today, we're going to be going over our top 5 favorite horror comedies.
Yes, those horror comedies that make us go, ha 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 ha.
That's not what I meant to hit.
There you go.
Whoops. I'm not editing that out. Fuck it.
No, leave it in. Fuck it. This is Saturday Night Raw.
Raw.
Yeah.
I know a place where you can get the best goddamn piece of pussy
In the whole
goddamn world. That's not in my top 5, but that would definitely be, that's one of my honorable mentions. So I'll go ahead and talk about one of my honorable mentions. Jumping into it. They would actually be Tales of the Crypt with a little blood. It's a when did it come out in the late 90s? Right?
Yeah, something like that. I think it was like 97, 96. Okay,
96.
there you go.
I had it written down. Sorry, folks. It's a vampire flick, and it has what's his name? What was the main guy?
Corey Feldman plays in it.
Corey Feldman plays the brother in it.
Dennis Miller.
Dennis Miller is the main guy. He was pretty big in the mid '90s.
He had a brief stint on Saturday Night Live.
This might be his only movie he ever made too.
No, he was in other movies.
Was he? Okay, I guess I'm just not that big of a
fan.
fan.
And he had, I think he had the Dennis Miller show.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that. But anyway, this movie is about, a secret cult of vampires, and they lure them in there, and they fucking eat them. It's all women, because they're the devil. They're blood suckers. I love you, ladies. Evil. And it's a really good movie. If you've never seen it, definitely check it out. It's very funny. It's a rib tickler. I highly recommend it. I don't want to give too much away just in case you haven't seen it, but take your time. It definitely has your Tales of the Crypt ending to it, and if you're a fan, you know what I mean. What's one of your honorable mentions, sir?
One of my honorable mentions is
Come on, please.
Eight-Legged Freaks. That movie came out in 2002. David Arquette plays in it. And this is exactly what I think of when I think of a horror comedy. It's funny, but at the same time, it's not exactly horrifying, but...
Well, I mean, it depends. If you have arachnophobia, then yes, you're going to be creeped out by this movie.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a throwback to the old 50s where the big giant creatures were
the Blob and Attack of the Killer Ants and all sorts of shit.
Them and giant tarantula or what, something like that. But
Ka ka ka, tookie tookie tookie.
yeah, this was a movie that I think was always on either HBO or Showtime one when we had them. And every time it came on, I always watched it because I always enjoyed it. One of the first DVDs I ever owned was Eight-Legged Freaks in like an old snapback case.
Man, I miss those days.
So, yeah, that's definitely a honorable mention. I kind of wanted to put it on the list, but there was 5 other movies that I thought deserved the mark. And I got one more honorable mention. Well, I got 2 more. I want to say that I got Zombieland as an honorable mention.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because it's definitely like a lot of people would put it like on their list, if not, close to 2 or 1,
Yeah.
But the other movie that I had in mind was I don't know. I lost it. I'll come back to it. You have another honorable mention?
Actually, I do. It's going to be Demon Knight. by Tales of the Crypt. This you can normally find Bordello of Blood and Demon Knight in a 2-pack. It's a demon trying to get his key back from these group of people. The main demon is what's his name?
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane. He was in Titanic. He was in
The Phantom.
The Phantom. He was pretty big in the early '90s, mid '90s. It's just it's one of those like movies that me and Todd here quote all the time. Hold down, motherfucker, give me the goddamn key back. And it's just a really fun flick. I mean, you're pretty much guaranteed some horror comedy or most horror comedy from Tales of the Crypt, and it definitely transferred to the big screen.
Yeah,
when they came out. If I'm not gonna really dive too much into it, but it's a rib tickler too. If you don't laugh at this movie, I will personally buy you dinner because it's that damn funny.
Well, I did have another honorable mention, but I totally forgot it because I thought about it when you were talking a little while ago, and now it disappeared. So I'm just going to jump into my number 5.
Okay.
And my number 5 is Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Okie dokie. That would actually be my number 5 too. I moved some stuff around.
Yeah, Killer Clowns is one of those low-budget horror films that came out. I believe it was 88 when it came out. Very low budget.
Yeah, it was 1988.
Very, tongue-in-cheek type of deal. But the more you watch this movie, the more it's just such a charm about this movie. It's, from the very beginning, you know that this isn't going to be too serious. And what makes this movie really work is the characters that they put around the clowns.
Yeah. The clowns in this movie, and while it is, kind of low budget, but the makeup and prosthetics and practical effects in this movie are top notch.
Oh, definitely. I mean, this isn't a underground gym by any means. I mean, it was low budget, but
yeah,
it's a pretty popular film.
And it's starting to get a lot more recognition.
They have costumes at Spirit Halloween.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's definitely finding its cult classic. Like Trick or Treat with Sam, because you've got 2 different Trick or Treats,
right?
Spelled different. But I'm referring to the anthology movie, which I heard they're supposed to be making a new one. But I think it's supposed to focus just on the character of Sam, so they're kind of doing the art type thing.
Yeah. So that was your number 5 as well?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, cool. Well, I guess I'll jump into my number 4. My number 4 is The Army of Darkness.
Okay.
And this is the 3rd film in the Evil Dead trilogy. This one relies heavy on the comedy, more so than the other 2.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's a fun movie, Ash, played by Bruce Campbell, gets taken back in time, like back to medieval time, and he has to help these villagers pretty much battle this, ancient evil that's threatening the future of society. So
yeah, which Bruce Campbell plays the bad guy also.
Yeah, there's a lot of breakdowns in this movie that you could go over that is just classic, that are the little mini Ashes.
Yeah.
But the actual bad guy in the film, that the one that looks like a skeleton or whatever, he's actually pretty badass.
Oh yeah, he looks amazing.
It all comes down to a big battle between the good medieval people versus the evil ones, and it all centers around the Book of the Dead, and same premises, just not as serious as the first 2 films.
Yeah, even the first film was serious, and the second one started dabbing into the comedy elements, and then when you hit the third one, it just fucking took off running with the comedy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like over the top comedy. It's actually not in my top, but I do love that movie. It's probably my favorite out of all the Evil Dead movies. I've seen a couple of movie reviewers actually talk about it, and they hate it. But to each his own when they're grown. But to jump into my number 4 is 1996 is the year this movie's coming out. The Frighteners.
Nice.
With Michael J. Fox. The bad guy is played by what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't really know his name either, but I know that the like his girlfriend is played by Dee Wallace. I know that, and she's from the Cujo movies and E.T. and all that.
Jake Bushley.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He played in Starship Troopers.
Yeah. He's been in a lot of things.
Yeah.
He played in, he was the jock in Scary Movie, right?
No.
No?
No.
He looks like it. I had a brain fart just now.
Shh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I suck. I know. Thank you. The Frighteners, it's just, it's a paranormal investigator, and he goes around talking to the dead and everything, and he can tell when somebody's going to die because the number will pop up on their forehead, and this bad guy, comes and kills them.
Yeah, and this evil entity not only can kill the living, but also can kill the dead as well.
Yeah.
So
like permanently.
It's a very interesting movie. One of my favorite Michael J. Fox movies. I don't have it on my list, but I remember I used to rent the film from the video store all the time, and I always had a pretty good time and a love for this film. I like how they set up the whole premises of, when the actual bad guy was alive, that he was like a spree killer who got off on just like murdering people. So that was a great little aspect. So he was just as worse in death as he was when he was alive. Yeah. So yeah, that was a great choice.
Yeah, and you've got like an all-star cast. I mean, like Jeffrey Cobbs, John Austin.
Jeffrey Combs.
Combs. Combs,
we need
you
to
dumb shit.
Scrap this and restart.
No.
Because you suck.
You suck. Arlie Ermey's in it too. He's
yes.
fucking hilarious.
He's the army dude, of course.
He is the army dude.
Little known fact, his character is actually based off of his character that died in Full Metal Jacket.
It really? That makes
I
sense.
don't know, but I just said that.
Okay. This is going to be a fun episode. Anyway, Jeffrey Combs.
From Reanimator.
Yes, you will recognize him from Reanimator. He's quite creepy in this movie.
Yes, he's a favorite as well.
But this is definitely I think this is a movie you could watch with your kids. I think it's a pretty good gateway movie.
Yeah, they're not going to get too horrified, but you don't really have to shield them from this. I mean, it's maybe not kid, but that early teenager type of deal.
I definitely recommend it. But Mr. Bots.
I don't know who that is. My last name's Thunder. My number 3 movie, I'm sure you're going to talk about this. It's Gremlins. And I'm cheating here a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and say Gremlins 2 as well. Fuck it. Don't care.
Okay.
I can't really talk about, if we're, one of our early episodes, we did the Christmas ones, and I can only mention the first Gremlins because the second one is really not Christmassy. But
yeah,
I can't mention these two together as horror comedies without mentioning, both of them. So that's what I'm going to do. I know you probably have more to say about this, but again,
It's a great family movie.
yeah, gateway movies,
Yeah.
both of them.
Yeah.
The
Especially
second
the
one,
second one.
turns up the funness.
Yeah, they definitely went into a more comedic route, but I'll elaborate on that a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. I'm not going to sit here and explain the plot because I'm sure most people that's listening have seen both of these films.
You should, you shit-eating heathens.
Yeah. This is.
Thank you. I know I'm right. Thank you.
If this is, even if you're not into horror movies, Gremlins has to be in your collection. The same as Back to the Future, or something like that. Like
Yeah.
it's just an iconic '80s movie. The second one came out in 1990.
Yes.
So it was the beginning of the '90s. Yeah, both of these movies are great. I pretty much like them equally. On any given day, you could ask me which one is my favorite, and I could tell you a different answer. That's how good both of them are.
Right. I definitely agree with that. But I'll jump into my number 3. It's actually 2010, and it's Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Nice.
I was not expecting to like this movie as much as I do when I first saw it. I was like, man, this is some B-rated bullshit movie.
Nope.
Was I fucking wrong? I was fucking way off. This movie is fucking fantastic. And if you haven't watched this, watch it. It's free on Tubi, I think, still.
I believe it's on Tubi.
It might be on Freevee, excuse me, not Freevee. Maybe Pluto, I'm not sure, but it's mostly it's one of those movies you can watch for free.
And definitely take advantage of it because this is probably more than any of the movies that we mentioned on this list. This is actually bust a gut type of laughter.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the concept is that these two redneck guys are just trying to get away, and they go to this cabin in the woods, and you would think that they're going to be the killers and stuff like that, but it's not, and they're just really nice guys, and these group of fucking idiot kids that
City slickers.
Yeah, city slickers. That normally, are your heroes of the movie. They are the dumb shits that actually wind up killing themselves because of their own paranoia. And it's just a really good roller coaster ride. Really good fun movie. Definitely something. It's something you could pop in and watch it with your friends or your girlfriend, and get a good laugh out of it.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much into it because you need to watch the movie. It's a really fun watch. It's a rib tickler.
All right. Well, my number 2 is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie. Most people listening might only know the TV series with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Boo.
Well, I like it.
I didn't like it. I didn't like that show. I didn't like Charmed. I didn't like any of those.
Well, I like both of those shows, so fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
We're talking about the Christy Swanson movie that also stars Donald Pleasance. Did I say Donald Pleasance? No.
You did say Donald Pleasance.
I meant to
dumbass.
say Donald Sutherland and Luke Perry.
Keith Sutherland's dad.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
24. He was the main guy in 24.
Yeah.
He's also the
Lost Boys.
main vampire in Lost Boys.
But yeah,
maggots.
This always been a favorite movie of mine. I remember, again, this is one that I rented from the video store all the time, and I have always been a huge fan of this movie. It was always one of my favorite gateway movies.
Yeah.
Because it does involve vampires, and it does have some, some gore scenes in it, as far as stake through the heart type of deal. But the characters in this movie is what's really going to attract you to this film.
Yeah, it definitely relies on character development and storytelling. It's definitely
Yeah.
if you're going there for the gore, then you're going there for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, and you will even see a young Hilary Swank in this movie.
Yeah,
So.
great soundtrack too to the
Oh
movie.
yeah, it's a great
Fucking
soundtrack.
banging, nothing but bangers on this bitch. I'm telling you, right? Can I get a what? Thank you.
All right,
Holla
what's
if
your
you hear
number
me.
2?
Zombieland from 2009.
Nice.
I fucking love this movie. Went to the theaters and saw this. I think me and you both went to the theaters and saw this together.
Both of us went.
I fell in love with this fucking movie right off the bat, right off the fucking jump. This movie, I guess I didn't have like very much expectations for Zombieland. I guess that's why it blew me away so much.
Yeah. Well, when it first came out, there was a lot of like serious zombie movies coming out. Okay.
Yeah.
Like 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Walking Dead was popular.
Yeah,
like
Walking Dead was starting to get popular. So, I think it came around at a perfect time to have that comedy blend to it, because we were kind of getting away from that horror comedy aspect. Like everybody wanted to make like a real serious PG-13 successful horror film, like the Paranormal Activities was getting popular. The torture, like Saw films were popular. So I think this came along and breathed some fresh life into the genre, because it was new but familiar at the same time as far as horror fans go.
Yeah.
So it was definitely much wanted when it came out. And I'll say this: I thought the sequel was pretty good too. I don't think it's better than the first one, but I thought it was decent.
It's solid. It's a solid sequel.
Yeah, it's a solid sequel.
I mean, you had Woody Harrelson, Jesse Ellenberg.
Yeah, Jesse Ellenberg.
You had Emma Stone
and Abigail. I can never say her last name.
Yeah, I don't want to butcher it. I mean, you even had a special cameo from Bill Murray in it.
Yeah, Bill Murray. That's probably if people don't remember that they've seen Zombieland or they can't remember the name of it, mention that Bill Murray scene and they go, "Oh yeah, I have seen that movie."
Yeah, I've seen that. And what's her name? Tennessee's girlfriend, Rusio Dawson.
Dawson,
the
mixed looking chick.
Yeah. That's in Clerks.
Yeah, she's in Clerks.
Yeah, sometimes I go ass to mouth. Ew. Hey, sweetheart, have you ever had your asshole licked by a fat man in an overcoat? Anyway, I'm getting off subject. But yeah, Zombieland's just a great horror comedy. It's, it has a family element to it. These group of strangers wind up becoming family and everything. And just trying to survive in this new world of death and making the best of it. And, Woody Harrelson's character is hell-bent on finding a fucking Twinkie.
Yeah, this did everything that was opposite of The Walking Dead. This made a post-apocalyptic zombie world fun, and The Walking Dead made it absolutely goddamn dreadful.
Yes, they did.
Especially when you watch the fucking series.
Yeah, they definitely started letting me down.
I don't care if somebody agrees with me or not. After the 4th season, everything is shit.
I quit watching after when they got rid of Rick. That's when I was. Like,
I can't take a fucking CGI tiger and all that bullshit. I checked out.
I get it. Well, to get back on track, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is Return of the Living Dead.
That's a goodie.
Yeah, it's the same way that Night of the Living Dead revolutionized zombie films. I think that Return of the Living Dead re-revolutionized zombie films because it proved a point. It proved that you can still make a horrifying film, but put a spin to it, and that spin is comedy. And
Yes.
not only add comedy, but, you know, it was nothing insulting. See, a lot of horror movies add comedy that is completely insulting.
Yeah. Like, stupid comedy.
Like Seed of Chucky.
Oh, my God.
Seed of Chucky is not funny, it's stupid.
Yeah.
And Return of the Living Dead, it's serious, but it's fun at the same time.
Yeah,
so
it has that Reanimator vibe.
So,
or Reanimator has its vibe. I'm not sure. Which one came out first?
Return of the Living Dead came out first.
Okay, well then it has the Return of the Living Dead vibe that Reanimator took.
Yeah, but it's a great movie.
Absolutely, I love that movie. It's a fun watch. It's got some very hilarious scenes in it, but at the same time, the practical effects are fucking spectacular in this movie.
Yeah, everything about this movie is good.
It ages well. It's like one of those movies that, like, every time I go back and rewatch it, I find something possibly new or that, you know, I liked. But yeah, that's a damn good pick. Well, you probably already know what my number one is. Mine's actually going to be Gremlins 2, the new batch, from 1990. I'm a huge Gremlins fan. I can't tell you why I'm a huge Gremlins fan. It's just one of those movies that, like, captured me as a kid, and it's stuck with me ever since. Gremlins 2, the new batch, it pretty much jumps right off of the first one. I mean, you can pretty much watch them back to back, and you get, you know, the same vibe and everything. Except for in the part 2, they wanted to go for that more WB cartoon vibe. Like, it was on purpose to be more funny. Because of the popularity of it, you know, kind of like what happened with Freddy Krueger. He got popular, so they started, you know, making him more likable, which is what they did with Gremlins 2, marketing-wise, because it was just, you know, Gremlins mania at the time. And it takes place, you know, Billy's moved away and she's trying to put it behind him, and, you know, they destroy where Gizmo was at because the old man from the first one passed away, so he finds his way where Billy is, and then chaos pursues again.
Yep, they're no longer in the small town. They're now in New York City. So.
And it's just, the comedy, like, Looney Tune elements to this movie is just, like, it's over the top, it's spectacular. The practical effects are fucking amazing. I'm a sucker for practical effects. Like, I normally give movies higher ratings just off of practical effects if they look good, you know. But it's got those, like, heartwarming moments. It's got those over-the-top moments. It's got the slapstick comedy moments with the gremlins and everything. The talking gremlin in it. I mean, it's just great. You have Rambo, Gizmo, and it has a great ending, and this is yet like a gateway movie you can watch with your kids, just like the first one.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I like both of them, so I cheated and put both of them. So
I mean, well, if you want to do it that way, I would definitely put both of them at number one. But number 2 definitely has more of a comedy element to it than the first one, and it was purposely done that way. For marketing.
I mean, if I could, you know, have a difference between the two, I would say that, Gremlins 2 would probably fit this list better, but I think Gremlins is a better movie from A to Z.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, it's one of the... Gremlins was just like a fresh, original idea, and it's kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's kind of hard to, you know,
duplicate.
Yeah, it's hard to duplicate. So they did the exact same thing that they did with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Went with the funny route.
Went with a more funny route.
Yeah.
Well,
not funny, ha, funny, queer.
Yeah, our fucking podcast careers will not take off if
No.
you keep using language like that.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I said I apologize.
What the hell's wrong with you?
What the hell's wrong with you, boy? It's a damn good show we just had. Yeah, damn good.
Yeah, this was a fun episode, though.
Now liberals are not going to like us because we just made a fucking Hodge Twins reference.
Nobody listens to us anyway.
Yeah, no, it's all right. But we love you to whoever the fuck's listening to us. We appreciate you taking the time to listen to us.
We really do.
And we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays and a New Year. And I hope you stub your toe on something hard.
Yep. So on that note, this is Todd of Thunder saying toodaloo.
And this is JT Ripper saying, eat shit, Mr. Hanky's coming.